Hi, I'm 𝗂𝗍 and welcome back to my channel. I am a designer and engineer, and I started my design studio Cozyleigh Studios with my boyfriend and my sister. A lot of you guys have had a lot of questions like, how did I start my own design studio? What is a design studio? How did I get to this point? And what is my channel about? I started my channel in the end of 2020 and it's been a crazy journey so far. I definitely pivoted a lot throughout my content creation journey because the truth is I'm always evolving. I just think that everyone is evolving, and that is just the beauty of life. It's not really healthy to stay stagnant, and that is something that I actually learned from a book that I've recommended a lot on my channel. It's called 𝗖𝗍𝗆, and it's about finding your reason for being. So at the end of 2020, I definitely was on this mission of finding my purpose and my reason for doing what it is that I love to do. If you are new or if this is the first time we're meeting, I actually studied computer science and software engineering in college and high school. So I am actually from the coding world, and I've been a software engineer for several years now. And you might be asking, well, what is she doing in the design world? What is she doing designing stuff? The truth is, my passion has always been in the art of creation. It hasn't ever been a particular medium, whether that be coding, designing, drawing, composing music. I just love creating. So I think that throughout my journey, I've definitely evolved and morphed into many different things. I wanted to talk a little bit about my journey. So I'm a software engineer, and I was working in various tech startups in New York City. And I remember coming out of college, I was just so excited to enter the startup world. I purposely went into startups right out of college because I wanted that startup life. I wanted to work on various different projects and wear many, many hats. And I always had a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit in me. I tried to create my own startup in college and got funding for it and even pitched the idea in different conferences. So I always loved the notion of ideating and just creating a vision and executing on it. So before I call myself a coder or a designer, I like to first and foremost call myself a visionary. Yeah, so upon reflecting on my journey, I started this YouTube channel at a point where I was really craving to be in control of my own destiny. Being a woman in STEM could be kind of rough, if you know what I'm talking about. I felt like I always had to prove myself before my work was taken seriously for what it was. So there was kind of like always this balance of justifying my worth or justifying the work that I did rather than it just being appreciated or accepted for what it was. So that was like a struggle that I felt like I always faced, even when I was starting off learning computer science since high school. That's kind of what pushed me into creating YouTube videos. I remember it was during the pandemic. I was working from home at the time as a software engineer, and I really wanted to start making YouTube videos. As I said, my passion always lied in creating ideas and bringing them to life. So I started making YouTube videos on something that I was really passionate about at the time, which was creating my own cozy desk setup. So I remember at this time of YouTube, most tech videos were very traditionally masculine, minimal, black or white, but it's not really my style. I started to make more cozy desk setup content, and I titled my first desk setup video, Warm and Cozy Desk Setup of a Software Engineer and Designer. And I remember I had no idea what I was doing at this time. I was just so excited to try something new. When I was at my startup, I really wanted to do design work, even though I was in a front-end engineer position. And there were times when I was able to do some design work or critique designs and work really closely with designers, but it wasn't like the creativity that I was looking for. So I started this YouTube channel thinking that I was going to create an app and share the journey on my channels and hopefully inspire others to not be confined in a job title, because I think we're all so much more than that. So I was definitely at a state in my life at that time where I felt really confined by my role as a front-end engineer. I really wanted to do more. I wanted to contribute to ideas. I wanted to get involved in the product managing side of things, or even, talking directly with users. I found all that stuff very fascinating, and that's kind of why I dove into the world of content creation, because I felt like it would enable me to achieve my dreams and be true to myself. And unfortunately, I did face a lot of discrimination in the workforce and in school for being in the computer science field, and I just was not having it. I think time and time again, I just felt like I was not being taken seriously just because of my gender and my race. I think at this time in my life, in the end of 2020, I knew that life was too short to not do what I wanted to do. And that's kind of when I took my destiny into my own hands. So fast forward to now, I run my own studio, and some of you might be so confused, you went from being a software engineer and, designing websites and apps and that stuff. Why are you designing products and selling it? Well, that actually is because my dream was to eventually create a business where I could work with my partner, Tristan, and my sister, Ashley, because we are very, very close. We are like our own little squad. We do everything together. I really wanted to be able to combine all of our passions and make something with it. Just for some context, I met Tristan in college and we were best friends before we started dating. And he is an engineer. He loves to tinker with things and build things from scratch. My sister, she's my younger sister. We have always been close since we were younger. And I guess me as the older sister, I didn't want her to follow a path that I was following before, where I wasn't really happy in my software engineering role. I wasn't really happy being told what to code. I wasn't really happy being told to just follow orders and not question things. And I knew that she was the same. We're both very creative people, and I wanted to create an avenue for her to really explore her artistic passions. So I actually told her to start her own channels, and now she's grown so much. I often share her artwork on my channels because I really want to bring her along my journey. To me, that is really important as an older sister because she means the world to me. She's my joy, and I would do anything for her. So as a result, Tristan, Ashley, and I created Cozyleigh Studios as a way for us to combine all of our passions together and bring our visions to life. That is why I transitioned to make Cozyleigh Studios, and it's really a dream come true. I did not set out to build a startup or a business or a studio. I really did not predict that this would be my path when I started my YouTube channel, but life is crazy, life has no plan. And I guess the way that I got here is I always stay true to myself. Sometimes your gut cannot be explained by logic or emotion. It is just a feeling that you have when you know you're doing something that's right for you. So convincing Tristan and Ashley to quit their jobs in corporate and to join me was definitely a crazy one, but I would not take anything back or start over. So this is kind of where I am now. We love creating different ideas for products that we would personally love to use, and just the process of making things is just very exciting. The process of finding inspiration, picking out what medium you'd like to make things in, whether it's resin printing, woodworking, or 3D printing. And we've learned so much in the 2 years that we started Cozyleigh. Some people ask, how come you don't just have manufacturers mass produce your products? Wouldn't that be a lot easier? Well, that's because I'm definitely very intentional with how I want to run Cozyleigh, because the reason why we're doing Cozyleigh in the first place is I never want to lose sight of how I started all of this in the first place because I wanted to be creative, and I definitely want to put my all into everything that we do. So it might be easy to get things mass produced, but that would add different complexities. Maybe I won't find as much joy or meaning behind the things that we create. That's why we invested in our 3D printers, and we're transforming our basement into a little home workshop to run Cozyleigh in. And it's definitely been a wild journey for sure. You know, running a business in your home is crazy. I think that, the first year, it definitely took up our whole living space. Our living room was completely packed, filled with all of our handmade desk mats that, we were making from scratch. And whenever we had a 3D printing run for our Zen MagSafe charger stands, we were packing them all in my living room, and it just took over. This year, we're definitely taking steps to be more sustainable and also have work-life balance. So that's why we moved our workshop into our basement, and we're just like renovating different parts here and there while also, having these fulfillment runs. It's so exciting because you learn so many skills and just knowledge through experience. And this is something that can never be taught in school. It's something that you have to truly experience and feel. So we sold out in the last 5 runs of our 3D printed Zen MagSafe charger stands, and some folks were definitely upset they couldn't get their hands on one. And I feel so bad about it, but I definitely want to stay true to myself and the essence of Cozyleigh. I hope one day we will be able to sustainably expand. That's really important to me, but I really don't want to lose the meaning behind this studio and our family business, and I don't want to lose how symbolic that is. So when you receive something from our studio, you know that we put all of our love into your product and we physically made it. So yeah, I've always preached about this through my Cozy Productive vlogs and my desk setup videos, but I want to create a business that is calm, sustainable, and true to our beliefs. And when you're making a business, it's really important to keep your beliefs and the essence of why you started this to begin with in mind all the time. It can be really easy to lose sight of who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, when you're so focused on expansion and growth. I've definitely felt this, even, just growing my channels. There were several points in my content creation journey where I felt like I'm not sure what I'm doing or what I make videos on. But ever since starting Cozyleigh, I feel like I have a clear mission. I have this vision for me and my family so that we can continue doing what we love doing most. So you may ask, how is it running a business and balancing your life? So I would say that I run like 2 businesses. I have like all of my content creation stuff, which definitely helps us fund Cozyleigh and like all the equipment costs and material costs and everything. And I have all of the Cozyleigh stuff as my second business. And I'll be honest, it's definitely been tricky to balance the 2 and also sustain our family. But the family values are so important to me, and I know that life is too short to not do the things that you love and to not work with the people you love most. I remember like when I was working in the industry and I saw a chart that plotted how much time you spend with, people you meet at work compared to like your loved ones and family. And it kind of showed that like in the beginning of your life, you spend most of your time with your family. And then once you start working, you end up spending most of your time with your coworkers and less time with your family. I feel like that is something that I don't want, and that's one of the reasons why I made Cozyleigh. I really want to be able to work with my family and create something really special here. And I never want to lose sight of that. No matter how tempting growth may be or how stressful it may be, I never want to lose sight of those core family values that make me who I am. So another reason why we make all of our products in-house and we make them on demand is because we want to be as sustainable as possible. If we control all parts of the process, we definitely have insight into, how much waste is being produced, if, failed prints are being recycled or materials are being reused. Those are all things that are really important to me as I run this business. So just wanted to do a little quick catch up with you guys and update you on how my life has been, where I'm at now, and where my journey is going and where I'm headed. I think that it's really overwhelming sometimes to figure out where you're headed in life, but I'm still figuring it out, and I'm really grateful for those of you who stuck by my side and continue with my journey and following along. I definitely started my channel with more tech-related videos and videos that share how I code and how I design websites and apps and bring them to life through coding. And as I've evolved over the past 2 years, I definitely moved away from the coding and software side of things and more into the physical realm. So a lot of you guys probably follow me for my coding content or my tech content or my cozy productive vlogs. However you landed on my cozy corner of the internet, I am so forever grateful for your support, love, and for you just watching this video in general. I always try to remind myself how grateful I am of these opportunities and starting this passion project when I was at a low point in my life. So you guys have definitely allowed me to find my reason for being, and I hope that my videos inspire you guys to do the same, because I really want to give back in the best way that I can. So yeah, those are some little thoughts that I have as I'm embarking my cozy entrepreneurship journey, and I hope it gives insight into the transition that you might have seen on my channel, going from a digital creating world to more of a physical one, but I try to keep the essence of my videos the same. I'm really excited to continue sharing with you guys my cozy lifestyle and how I have all of these core values that I try to keep with me every day, and I also try to share my productivity tips and also my creation tips. So even though I'm creating in a different medium now and not so much for the digital world, the process of ideating is still the same, and I will always continue sharing how I'm doing that and how we're working together, and I hope that this still interests you or inspires you to find your reason for being. So yeah, I don't really do these camera rambling videos too often, but if you guys are interested in the world of soft, cozy entrepreneurship or just the world of ideating and bringing ideas to life, feel free to let me know in the comments, and let me know if you enjoy, the cozy vibes. I always love making videos that are cozy and inspiring you to be productive while finding joy in what you do.